Communication is a powerful tool in the art of attraction and developing meaningful interpersonal relationships. Many men face difficulties when trying to spark a woman's interest because they apply methods that would work on themselves, ignoring that the process of female attraction operates through different psychological mechanisms. While men are predominantly visual, attracted by what they see, women are primarily stimulated by imagination, sensory experiences, and the romance they can envision through a man's words and actions. This content explores the power of words as psychological triggers that activate female desire, presenting 5 carefully crafted phrases based on principles of behavioral psychology and neuroscience. These phrases are not mere manipulation techniques, but rather forms of communication that foster genuine connections by activating specific brain areas associated with pleasure, desire, and curiosity. When spoken in the right context, these phrases evoke sensations that transform a woman's perception of you, positioning you as someone intriguing and desirable. The core element of this phenomenon relates to how our brain processes emotional stimuli and how certain keywords function as neural triggers activating specific feelings. Neuroscience shows us that the female brain responds particularly well to stimuli that activate the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for attention and decision-making processes. When a woman receives a stimulus that sparks her curiosity or creates an expectation of a pleasurable experience, structures like the caudate nucleus and the inferior frontal gyrus are immediately activated. This process triggers the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation, creating a positive association between these pleasant sensations and the person who provoked them. The 5 phrases we will analyze are formulated to function as mental triggers, activating specific psychological mechanisms that influence emotional decisions. It's important to stress that these phrases should be used responsibly and sincerely, always with genuine and respectful intentions. Emotional manipulation is not only unethical but also easily detectable and can destroy any possibility of a real connection. The first phrase uses the concept of passion as a keyword. I think it's very different when there's passion, when things truly click. This expression activates associations in the female brain with intense, authentic relationships, making her visualize what it would be like to experience that passion with you. The word passion acts as an activator of sensory experiences, awakening positive emotional memories and creating a neurological link between these sensations and your presence. Imagine the impact of this phrase spoken during an intimate moment in conversation. You aren't just communicating a preference, you're painting a mental picture of possibilities. Women value men who recognize the importance of genuine connection that goes beyond superficiality. By mentioning the word passion, you activate pleasure centers in the female brain linked to intimacy and emotional intensity. To enhance the effect of this phrase, it's essential to demonstrate genuine enthusiasm when saying it, using a tone of voice that conveys sincerity and conviction. Your entire body should communicate this message. Focused eyes, open posture, natural gestures that match the intensity of your words. When you show passion while talking about passion, you create a complete sensory experience that resonates deeply within the female experience. This phrase works because it touches on a fundamental longing, the search for authentic and intense experiences. In a world of superficial relationships and fleeting digital connections, expressing appreciation for genuine passion instantly sets you apart. You become someone who sees beyond social conventions, someone capable of offering a rich and memorable emotional experience. Timing is crucial for this phrase. Use it when the conversation naturally deepens, when you are sharing views on relationships or personal experiences. Said naturally without seeming rehearsed, this phrase creates a bridge of identification. Many women will think, he gets what really matters in a connection. The body language accompanying this phrase should reflect controlled intensity. Lean in slightly when saying it, lower your tone a bit as if sharing something precious, and maintain eye contact that communicates confidence and depth. These non-verbal nuances exponentially amplify the power of the words, creating a multi-sensory experience. The second phrase explores the concept of chemistry between people. I think having chemistry between a couple is important, that real spark. Here, The keyword chemistry acts as a powerful trigger for intimacy. The female brain subconsciously begins to evaluate the existing chemistry between you two, activating brain regions associated with physical and emotional attraction. This mental process creates an instinctive curiosity about what it would be like to experience that chemistry or spark with you. By mentioning chemistry and spark, you evoke sensations that transcend the present moment. The idea of a spark directly alludes to both emotional and physical connection, creating a mental bridge between the current conversation and future possibilities. It's a subtle and elegant way to introduce the physical element into the interaction without being explicit or inappropriate. This phrase should be delivered with a naturalness that suggests familiarity with deep connections. When mentioning this phrase, maintain moderate eye contact and a relaxed facial expression, suggesting comfort and sincerity. A slight smile at the corner of your lips or a slightly more intense gaze can perfectly complement the effect of the words. The power of this phrase lies in its ability to transport the female mind into a realm of sensory possibilities. While the conversation continues on a conscious and appropriate level, the subconscious explores potential sensations and experiences. This simultaneous processing, where the conscious and unconscious mind handle information on different levels, is fundamental to creating deep attraction. Mentioning chemistry also triggers a natural compatibility assessment. Women are particularly sensitive to subtle signs of compatibility, such as communication style, shared values, and even unconscious biological markers like natural scent. By bringing this concept up, you invite a mental exploration of these compatibility elements. This phrase creates healthy curiosity. Many women will wonder internally, do we have that chemistry he values so much? This questioning keeps you present in her thoughts even after the encounter, creating an effect of mental persistence crucial for developing attraction. Naturalness is essential when delivering this phrase. It should arise as an organic part of the conversation, perhaps when discussing past relationships or expectations. Avoid forcing this topic. It should emerge naturally within the flow of the interaction. When well placed, this phrase creates a bridge between the intellectual and the sensory, elevating the overall quality of the communication. The third phrase addresses concepts of desire and emotional connection. I think desire between a couple gets much stronger when there's a deep emotional connection. The keywords desire and emotional connection function as dual activators, stimulating both erotic imagination and the longing for significant emotional bonds. This combination is particularly powerful because it simultaneously appeals to physical and emotional needs, creating a complete picture of potential satisfaction. This phrase demonstrates deep emotional intelligence, an extremely attractive quality to women. By articulating the relationship between emotional connection and physical desire, you position yourself as someone who understands the complexity of female sexuality. This understanding is rare and therefore extremely valuable in the realm of romantic interactions. When you utter this phrase, you are communicating a relationship philosophy that values both the physical and the emotional, without reducing the experience to just one of these dimensions. This balanced view resonates deeply with how many women experience attraction and desire as a holistic phenomenon integrating mind, heart, and body. The ideal moment to use this phrase is during conversations about relationships or when the topic naturally moves towards more intimate themes. Naturalness is key. It should seem like a genuine reflection, not a rehearsed line. Your tone of voice should convey a combination of certainty and openness, like someone who has reached this understanding through experience and reflection. The mention of deep emotional connection activates circuits in the female brain associated with emotional safety, validation, and the feeling of being truly seen and understood. These are fundamental elements of female attraction, often as important as or even more important than initial physical attraction. The word desire, when spoken in the right context and with the appropriate tone, functions as a powerful sensory activator. It creates a direct bridge to pleasure centers in the brain, stimulating the production of neurotransmitters associated with anticipation and pleasure. The context of a deep emotional connection elevates this desire to something significant and special, not merely physical or trivial. This phrase communicates an emotional maturity that is extraordinarily attractive. You demonstrate an understanding. That authentic desire transcends the merely physical and intertwines with deeper elements of human connection. This insight instantly differentiates you from most men who cannot articulate or even comprehend this complexity. While saying this phrase, maintain a relaxed but present posture. Direct yet non-intimidating eye contact perfectly complements the message. Your body language should communicate openness and authenticity, reinforcing that this isn't just a strategy, but a genuine conviction about how the most satisfying connections are formed. The fourth phrase utilizes the curiosity trigger. I have something to tell you, I'm just not sure if it's the right time. This construction creates psychological tension that activates the prefrontal cortex and brain structures related to reward anticipation. Unsatisfied curiosity generates a pleasurable state of alertness, keeping the woman's mind focused on you and what might be revealed, creating a bond of continued attention that intensifies interest. This phrase functions as a powerful creator of narrative tension. Just as a good movie or book keeps us engaged with the promise of future revelations, this phrase creates an expectation that keeps you present in her thoughts. The human brain is naturally drawn to incomplete information. We instinctively seek to resolve knowledge gaps, complete patterns, and satisfy curiosities. The power of this phrase lies in its calculated ambiguity. It suggests something important enough to mention, but also something requiring the right moment and context for disclosure. This duality creates a state of anticipation that the brain experiences as a form of pleasurable excitement. Neuroscience shows us that the anticipation of a reward often generates more brain activity than the reward itself. By creating this state of anticipation, you are effectively activating circuits of pleasure and focused attention. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation, is released in significant amounts during states of curiosity and anticipation. The secret to this phrase's success lies in the strategic pause after saying it, allowing the effect of curiosity to fully set in before subtly changing the subject. This pause creates a moment of narrative suspension, a space where her imagination can explore possibilities. Don't rush to fill this silence. Allow it to breathe and amplify the phrase's effect. The facial expression accompanying this phrase should communicate a mix of thoughtfulness and slight hesitation, as if you are genuinely evaluating whether this is the right moment for the revelation. This non-verbal nuance amplifies the authenticity of the phrase and intensifies its psychological effect. After delivering this phrase and allowing the pause, it's important to gently shift to another topic without seeming abrupt or artificial. The transition should feel natural, as if you've decided it really isn't the right time. This apparent change of decision further increases the credibility of the something to be told and intensifies the curiosity. What makes this phrase so powerful is that it creates a mental hook, a lingering thought that remains in the subconscious even as the conversation moves on to other topics. This hook acts as a mental return point, repeatedly bringing her attention back to you even after the encounter. On a deeper level, this phrase communicates that you are someone with layers, with depth, beyond what is immediately visible. This perception of complexity is extremely attractive, positioning you as someone worth exploring and discovering over time. The fifth phrase explores the concept of scarcity and exclusivity. There's something I noticed about you that I can't get out of my head. This expression activates the psychological trigger of unique recognition, making the woman feel special and uniquely valued. Knowing she evokes persistent thoughts in someone activates brain regions associated with self-esteem and social pleasure, creating strong curiosity about what unique characteristic was noticed. The power of this phrase resides in its ability to make the other person feel truly seen. In a world where most interactions are superficial and people often feel invisible in their uniqueness, being genuinely noticed is a deeply validating and emotionally powerful experience. Psychology shows us that one of the most fundamental human desires is to be recognized for our individuality. This phrase communicates not only that you noticed her, but that something specific and unique about her created a lasting impression. This perception of uniqueness activates reward centers in the brain associated with social validation. The expression "can't get out of my head" is particularly effective because it communicates persistence of thought. It wasn't just a passing observation, but something that continues to occupy your mental space. This persistence suggests value and importance. We dedicate our mental resources to what we consider valuable and significant. The mystery component is equally powerful. By not immediately revealing which characteristic or quality caught your attention, you create a state of curiosity that maintains engagement. The woman's mind will naturally start exploring possibilities. What did he notice? Was it something physical, a personality trait, a talent or skill? This phrase works best when delivered with a contemplative look and a tone of voice suggesting a genuine and pleasant discovery. Your face should communicate a mix of pleasant surprise and ongoing curiosity, as if you are still processing this remarkable characteristic you observed. By uttering this phrase, you are essentially communicating that she stood out from the crowd in your perception. In a world where attention is divided and interactions are often superficial, having captured someone's attention significantly is extremely validating. This validation creates a feeling of well-being and connection that naturally increases attraction. After delivering this phrase, you have two strategic options. The first is to reveal what you noticed, choosing something genuinely unique and positive you observed. This revelation should be specific and demonstrate authentic attention to detail. The second option is to postpone the revelation to create more narrative tension, promising to share this observation at a future time. Authenticity is absolutely essential for this phrase to work effectively. If your observation seems generic or rehearsed, the effect will be completely lost or worse, create an impression of manipulation. Genuine specificity is the key, something you actually noticed and that genuinely impressed you. These 5 phrases work because they align with female psychological mechanisms of attraction, which respond more intensely to stimuli that awaken the imagination and create rich emotional experiences. Unlike the predominantly visual male attraction, female attraction is built on emotional narratives and connections that stimulate multiple senses and brain areas associated with pleasure and bonding. The effectiveness of these phrases lies in the context and authenticity with which they are delivered. They are not magic formulas or manipulations, but communication tools that, when used sincerely, can initiate genuine connections. Female desire is awakened not just by the words themselves, but by the authentic person behind them, capable of offering emotionally rich and significant experiences. It's crucial to understand that these phrases are just the beginning of deeper, more meaningful communication. They open mental and emotional doors, but what truly matters is what you offer when those doors open. Authenticity, respect, and the ability to sustain genuine connections are the true pillars of lasting attraction. To apply these phrases more effectively, it's important to develop certain personal qualities that amplify their impact. The first of these qualities is full presence, the ability to be completely in the moment, offering your full and genuine attention. Presence is magnetically attractive because it's extremely rare in our era of constant digital distractions. The second quality is congruence, the alignment between your words, tone of voice, body language, and your true intentions and feelings. Incongruence is easily detected by the female brain, which evolved to be highly sensitive to subtle communication cues. When all elements of your communication are perfectly aligned, the message becomes exponentially more powerful. The third essential quality is authentic curiosity. Women are attracted to men who show genuine interest in discovering them as complex, multifaceted individuals. Curiosity demonstrates value. We invest our attention and energy in what we consider valuable. Respectful and attentive curiosity communicates that you see more in her than just her external appearance. Now let's explore practical scenarios where these phrases can be applied with maximum effectiveness. The first scenario is during a conversation that naturally deepens in a coffee shop or restaurant. These environments offer the perfect balance between intimacy and social safety, creating a space where deeper conversations can naturally flourish. The second ideal scenario is during a walk or light shared activity, like exploring an art fair or a park. Research shows that gentle side-by-side movement facilitates emotional openness and brain synchronization between two people. These contexts allow the phrases to arise naturally, without the pressure or artificiality of an environment solely focused on conversation. The third scenario is during transition moments, like the end of a date, when emotional energy is already naturally high. These liminal moments are psychologically powerful because the brain is more receptive to new information and emotional associations. It's equally important to recognize contexts where these phrases would be inappropriate or ineffective. Professional environments or very brief initial meetings don't offer the necessary foundation for these phrases to resonate authentically. Similarly, moments where attention is divided by significant distractions would drastically diminish their impact. The body language accompanying these phrases is as important as the words themselves. Maintain moderate eye contact, direct enough to communicate confidence, but not so intense it becomes uncomfortable. Your posture should be relaxed but present, slightly leaning towards her during the more significant moments of the conversation. Your gestures should be natural and fluid, complementing the emotional content of the words without exaggeration or theatricality. Research in nonverbal communication shows that contained but expressive gestures communicate confidence and authenticity, while overly broad gestures can be perceived as compensatory or artificial. Your tone of voice should vary subtly to emphasize keywords and create emotional dynamics. A slight reduction in volume when uttering particularly significant phrases creates a feeling of shared intimacy. Strategic pauses after important concepts allow the emotional impact to fully settle. It's essential to calibrate your approach based on her receptivity. Effective communication is always a dialogue, not a monologue. Carefully observe signs of positive engagement, dilated pupils, leaning towards you, increased frequency of smiles, and laughter, more open posture and voluntary elaboration in her responses. Equally important are signs of discomfort or disinterest, pulling away physically, reduced eye contact, short, purely functional answers, and changes of subject. These signals indicate the need to pull back, change the approach, or simply recognize that natural chemistry might not be present, which is perfectly normal and healthy. Developing sensitivity to read these nonverbal signals is a skill that improves with conscious practice and mindfulness. This ability to read the room and adjust your energy appropriately is one of the most significant markers of high social intelligence, an extremely attractive quality to women. An often overlooked aspect of effective communication is the power of calibrated vulnerability. Appropriately sharing your own experiences, learnings, and even overcome insecurities creates a bridge of identification that facilitates deeper connections. Authentic vulnerability, when expressed with balance, is perceived as genuine strength, not weakness. Another crucial element is the ability to create pivotal moments in the conversation, points of shared emotional intensification where the connection is significantly deepened. These moments often involve sincere revelations, mutual recognition, or experiences of synchronicity that create an us-against-the-world feeling for a brief but powerful moment. It's important to remember that genuine attraction is an emergent process, not a mechanical formula. These phrases and techniques are tools to facilitate authentic connections, not replacements for natural chemistry and true compatibility. The ultimate goal is not to manipulate, but to communicate with greater clarity and emotional depth. Research in evolutionary psychology suggests that women have developed sophisticated cognitive mechanisms to detect manipulation attempts. This sensitivity evolved as protection against emotional investments in partners who wouldn't offer genuine commitment or long-term support. For this reason, authenticity is not only ethically necessary, but strategically superior to any form of manipulation. The 5 phrases presented are effective precisely because they facilitate the authentic expression of ideas that resonate with the psychological mechanisms of female attraction. They create communication bridges that allow for greater depth and meaning in interactions, benefiting both parties involved. To maximize your effectiveness in romantic communication, dedicate time to genuine self-development. Cultivate authentic interests. Expand your intellectual and cultural horizons, and develop a clear sense of purpose in your life. The most powerful attraction arises naturally when you become a truly interesting and integrated person. Practice the art of active listening, not just listening to respond, but truly absorbing and processing what the other person communicates. The ability to ask insightful questions that demonstrate deep understanding of what was shared is extraordinarily attractive and increasingly rare. Develop your emotional intelligence through consistent self-reflection. Question your own reactions, explore your motivations, and seek to understand your emotional patterns. This self-awareness not only improves your romantic communication, but enriches all your relationships and your life experience as a whole. Cultivate comfort with shared silence. Many men feel the need to fill every moment with words, missing valuable opportunities for non-verbal connection. Moments of comfortable silence often create more intimacy than non-stop conversation. Finally, approach each interaction with genuine authenticity and clear intentions. The most powerful communication arises from the integration between who you truly are and how you express yourself in the world. When your words, actions, and presence are perfectly aligned with your inner truth, you become magnetically attractive in ways that transcend techniques or strategies. The 5 phrases presented are valuable tools, but the true magic happens when you develop the ability to create your own authentic expressions that resonate with your unique personality and with the specific woman you are interacting with. The most powerful phrase is the one that arises naturally from the shared moment, perfectly adapted to the unique context of your interaction. By integrating these principles and practices into your life, you will not only significantly improve your ability to awaken genuine desire and interest, but also deeply enrich your experience of human connection in all its dimensions. True mastery in the art of romantic communication is not measured solely by external results, but by the depth and authenticity of the connections you are able to cultivate. The journey of improving communication with women is, at its core, a journey of self-knowledge and personal growth. Each interaction becomes a learning opportunity, each connection a chance to expand your understanding of both human nature and your own capacity for genuine and meaningful intimacy. As you incorporate these tools and principles into your life, always remember that the ultimate goal transcends techniques or immediate results. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, a man capable of creating genuine connections that enrich not only your life, but also the lives of those with whom you choose to share your time and energy. By mastering the art of awakening desire through authentic and meaningful communication, you are not just improving your romantic possibilities, you are elevating the quality of all your interactions and contributing to a world where deeper, more meaningful connections become possible.